Now we can go right back into our hero cycle that was interrupted there. And the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to play Blood of Gaia because I want to take out another group of 3 here to try and drop a treasure. Also, it's going to clear a path for what I'm going to do next. Blood of Gaia is an action, and it also generates 2 AP, raising us to 3. Blood of Gaia is a fire attack that uses a focus. It allows us to attack one target within range, and the range is 3. This attack also affects the 3 squares behind and adjacent to the target shown. You can target an empty square with the initial attack on a spell like this, as long as something is going to be in the area of effect. You can't just target an empty space with nothing that's going to happen. So I'm going to target this space right here in front of this Tailless, and that will affect this 3 right here. We have 2 grubbers and then the Tailless in the middle that are going to be affected by this Blood of Gaia attack. Before I build the dice pool, I want to make a correction. That's something I said improperly in the first video. When I used my attack card, I said that I could not use the Demon's Bane because this had the arcane and not the focus keyword on it. That's not why I couldn't use the Demon's Bane. I couldn't use the Demon's Bane because the attack card has the weapon keyword on it, and the Demon's Bane does not have the weapon keyword on it. The weapon keyword is on my Enchanted Twig. That's why I couldn't use the Demon's Bane, and the Enchanted Twig came into play. This was brought to my attention on Board Game Geek, so I appreciate the input, and I wanted to make sure that I made that correction. Let's build this dice pool. We have our base of 1 and 1. We have not moved because the Rift Walk was not considered a move, so we're going to get 1 additional D10 from the Blood of Gaia card. Blood of Gaia is an attack that uses a focus, so the Demon's Bane will come into play, will give us 2 additional D10 and 4 additional fate dice. The Ring of Neria will provide 1 additional fate die, and that appears to be all we're going to get as far as bonuses and dice for this attack. Now we are attacking 2 different monster types. We're attacking the rodents that have an armor of 4, and we're attacking the grubbers who have an armor of 5. So we're going to need 2 results on those D10 that beat each of those numbers in order to take all 3 of them out. And as a backup, in case things go wrong here, I can re-roll 1 D10 during this hero cycle due to my ongoing research card. But let's see if we can get at least a 4 and a 5 and take all 3 of these creatures out and generate another treasure. Oh yeah, easy. 10, 9, 8, no problem at all. The apprentice shoots another awesome stream of fire, taking out 2 grubbers and 1 Tailless, which means we will get to drop another treasure. This is the 3rd one that's going to be on the board, and it will go where that 3rd minion or the 2nd grubber was taken out. The apprentice did 3 damage, taking her threat to 5. The apprentice has 1 action space remaining under her player board. I'm going to have her cast Glacier's Grip, and that allows her to place the Glacier's Grip token in range, which is 4 for this card, and affect the 3x3 area. The affected squares require 2 movement points to move into, and each hero targeting an affected target gains -2 to the target number for attack actions. And she can play this because this is a reaction. She only played the 1 action card, which was Blood of Gaia. Also, this is not going to cost us any action points. Here's the token for Glacier's Grip. I'm going to cast it 3 squares away from me, and it does have a range of 4, and I have a clear line of sight, and I'm going to land it right there. And what that is going to do is all the squares around it, which is a 3x3 area, are now affected, which means any of these Tailless that are moving are going to be slowed down quite a bit unless they take the long way around. They are intelligent, unlike the undead were. The same with the grubbers, they're intelligent also. So thematically, I would say that if they're going to try and move through here, just to move 3 squares through here would cost them 6 movement points. If they can get closer to their target by going around it, thematically I think they would. I don't know if that is exactly how the rules would play out, but seeing that they're both intelligent races and they can clearly see the ice or the snow or whatever Glacier's grip causes on the ground that's slowing things down, they would be smart enough to move around it since they're intelligent creatures. Also, our acolyte is in the middle of it right now. Well, not in the middle of it, but on the edge of it. And he is also affected. So if he were to move forward, it would cost him 2. If he moved back out of it, it would still only cost him 1. But anybody targeting him is going to get an advantage because he is slowed down right now. Next thing I want to do is get the soldier in position to go after Wrath. So I'm going to use my Hustle card, which is a reaction, and it's going to add 1 to the darkness meter, bringing us up to 4. Before moving, the soldier has a base movement of 2, and the Mantle of Fate also gives us 1 more movement point, and this Hustle card will give us 2 additional movement points for a total of 5. She does have the Boots of Speed. Do we need to use them? Are we going to have anything as far as an attack occur? No, I'm not going to use an attack. Is there any advantage to me calling out a particular type of movement right now? I would want her to have aggressive movement, which she's going to have anyway. So we're going to move her 5, and I want to bring her around the side of this boulder here. Hopefully I can draw Wrath over to me. I don't think I can draw him to me because he is a ranged attacker and he goes after the furthest away that he can hit. Yeah, I'll still go around that way because I'm going to have to rush and attack. So we'll move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll get us over in this direction. And also maybe it'll draw some of the Tailless in her direction because they don't want to go through the Glacier's grip area. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens when the darkness activates again. I don't have any additional cards I want to play at this moment with any of my characters, and I'm ready to go into the hero deck phase. There's no threat to reduce for the soldier yet. There are 2 empty spots on the Acolyte's player board. That'll reduce the threat down to 3. Our Acolyte has a lot going on here. The Blood of Gaia is going to clear out. She has nothing empty, so her threat is going to stay at 5. Now I have to decide, do I want to keep everything going? I definitely want to keep Glacier's Grip going, Hero's Edge going, the Sphere of Deflection also going because we have a lot of ranged creatures out there. I think I might be able to research, but I'm going to wait until I see what my hand is going to be because I might use that research as a cleared ongoing to help give me a benefit for a particular spell. Do I want to keep either one of these for the apprentice? This is an ongoing. I'm not too worried about it right now. The Mountain Crumbles has a range of 3. She's not really close to anybody, so I'm going to discard both of these and not keep any cards. For the Acolyte, Attend the Weak. I don't have anybody that's really wounded bad enough to keep that. Same with Soothe Wounds, Guardian Angel. No, I'm not going to have the Acolyte keep any either. But with the Soldier, I am going to hold on to Devastate because this is a massive melee attack that does 3 damage, and that's what I'm going to need to take care of Wrath, who has 3 health. So we're going to keep that one. We're going to get rid of the other cards. Now we'll draw back up, starting with the Apprentice. She only has 4 available. Okay. And give her a 5th card. Let's see what she got. She has Arcane Lance, trying to get the glare off there. Reservoir of the Ancients. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Let's see if I can angle it. This is an ongoing. You gain +2 D10 and +2 Fate dice to each arcane attack. Wow, it's a pretty good ongoing for her. We've seen Attack. Have we seen Meditate? I can't remember. Clear all ongoing cards. For each ongoing card cleared, you may restore 1 vitality and reduce your threat by 1. Well, this might be the time to go ahead and get rid of that research card because it's a reaction and it doesn't cost us anything. That'll work. And Leech we've seen before. The Acolyte also has 4 available. And drawback up to 5. Prey we have seen, Soothe Wounds, Angelic Word, I don't remember. Consuming Fire we've seen, Hustle, yes. Angelic Word is a holy attack that uses a relic. Attack one target within range. This attack gains a number of additional d10 equal to your faith. Range of 3, damage 2. Very good. Who only has 3 cards. So we have now cycled through the hero decks completely. So I don't need to go into detail anymore when showing new cards. I will still put them up on the screen as actions are being done and talking about them briefly. We got the Hidden Blade, Drawing the Ire. Choose one hero within range, each attack targeting that hero. I think I've seen this before. Maybe, maybe not. And then Hustle. Hidden Blade, we got 2 of those. Well, that could be handy if we can get over to Wrath, because the Devastate is an action, but the Hidden Blade can be used as a reaction. And with our Boots of Speed, designate one of those movement types. It would have to be that one because the cautious movement is not allowed with Devastate. Unfortunately for us, there are 2 active types of monster out there. We have the rodents and we have the grubbers, which are tribal. So that's going to add 2 AP to the darkness meter, bringing us up to 6 and activating the darkness. For this activation only, treat the threat penalty event as threat level 8. Well, luckily the highest we have is 5 with the apprentice, so we don't have to worry about the threat penalty. It's going to be a normal spawn at the end, so the boss and mini-boss do not apply. Then Wrath, our captain, will activate before the minions. Wrath activates, and he has a priority that starts with the furthest away. He has that multi-bolt repeater that has a range of 5. And he can do 2 attacks on 2 targets. Also, he can move 3. He can't get line of sight on the soldier right now because of the boulder blocking that. He could move around the boulder to gain line of sight to attack the soldier. The Acolyte, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, luckily is 6 away, so he cannot hit him from where he's at right now. And he can't move forward because he can't move into any occupied spaces or anything with a red line on it. So we have to decide what he is going to do. And I think what he will do is move around that boulder so he can gain line of sight on a target, which is going to be the soldier. So he's going to move this way, but he doesn't want to get too close. So he would move 1 down into the hole, kind of back 1 for 2. 1, 2, 3. He's only 4 away. So I'm going to back him up 1 more to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, because he wants to have as much space between him and his target as possible. That way it minimizes his exposure to attack. Wrath has a courage of 7. He does get 2 attacks. It says 2 attacks on 2 targets. Well, he only has 1 target. I think logic would say that if he only has 1 target, then both of those attacks are going to land on the same target. I didn't see anything in the rulebook right away that clarified it, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. He can go ahead and launch 2 attacks on the same target. That way, thematically makes sense to me. If it's wrong, it's a disadvantage to me that I get to attack twice if I'm only supposed to do 1, so I'm okay with that. We do have to see if he passes his courage test, which is a 7. Oh, he just missed it. He's just a little too scared to fire at the soldier. Her running straight at him like that kind of freaked him out. Well, currently there are only 3 grubbers left, so they don't get their advantage of having strength in numbers by having 4 of them out there. They do have more courage than the Tailless, so it would make sense that they would make their move first. So we'll get the grubbers to move. First, their priority is threat, and currently the highest threat is the apprentice, and they can move 3. Well, they can... this one's stuck in Glacier's grip, but again, he's intelligent. Well, it doesn't really matter because he can move 3. So even if he uses 2 to go to that space, he's going to move out of it to 3 right there. And that leaves room for the other grubber. So all 3 of them will attack the apprentice. Next, we're going to have our Tailless, the melee attackers, first. And right now they are kind of trapped in here. There's 3 of them right there, but they're completely surrounded. Well, not completely. They couldn't break through right here. So they can come out that way. And the melee attackers do move first. And they have a movement of 4. And remember, they have a range of 2. Their priority is the least threatening character. Right now, that is the soldier. But they don't have a clear way to get to her right now. Would have to go by proximity. And right now, that is the acolyte. He is the closest. But can they get to him? This initial one right here can. He'll move 1, 2, and then 3, 4 because of Glacier's grip. And he only has to be within 2, so he can get an attack off. The 2 remaining won't be able to make it there, but they'll get into position 1, 2, 3, and it would take 2 spaces to move into Glacier's grip, so he's going to have to stop at 3, and then we'll bring the other one right there also. And because of this red area here, even though he's only 2 away, he still can't attack because of the line of sight is blocked. Now we have a lot of ranged ones. They have a range of 3. They can also move 4, and they're going to go after the person with the least threat, which is the soldier, and they can get there. So, but they don't want to get too close. They want to try and get at maximum range. 1, 2, 3. That'll move that one there, so it's 3 away, and it's still 3 away from another one of our heroes. That one's going to stay because he's already 3 away. I don't think this one's going to move. He's 4 away, but if he moves into here, that's going to put him within 2 spaces of the acolyte, and I don't think it would do that. It's going to stay 3 away and go ahead and attack the acolyte instead, defaulting to proximity since the least threat is not close enough. The one next to him, though, I don't know if I can get an available target. That's pretty close. I think from the center of that to the center of here, I don't think it's going to clip through this area because they're kind of backed up 1 space each. So I believe that one is still in line. Let me take a close look at that. It might barely touch that corner, but I think it's so minimal that Tailless can still get a shot off at the acolyte. Then we have these back here. This one, I don't know if it can move anywhere that's going to keep it out of harm's way by being 3 away. Actually, yes, we can move 1, 2, 3 and stay 3 away and attack. And I don't believe these 2 are going to be able to find a target. Least threat, proximity, then least vitality, and still remain 3 away at the same time. So we will move them into position to go after the soldier because that's the top of their priority list. So we'll move 1, 2, 3. That way they'll be ready maybe in the next turn. And the same thing here, 1, 2. We'll stop right there. With the enemy movement, a lot of these choices have to be made subjectively, where I'm just kind of looking at it and kind of deciding what these creatures would do, since they are very skittish and they have the least amount of courage on the board also, that they would have that standoffishness where they would want to be as far away as possible but still kind of attack, a little bit cowardly, but that's the way they are. So I think the movements that I made make sense. If you disagree, or if you have another way that I should handle it, please comment. I have no problem with constructive criticism or ideas, so let me know what you think. Let us start the attack with these grubbers right here, and they have a courage of 7. Our 3 grubbers attempt to attack the apprentice, and all of them failed, a 1, 2, and a 5. I think next we'll take these 2 Tailless up here that are targeting, well actually 3 that are targeting the soldier, and they need a 9. Oh, we got a 9 and a 10, so 2 of them are going to be able to attack. And they have a target number of 7. And a 5 and a 6 miss. Luckily for us, there were only 3 Tailless attacking. Otherwise, that would have been a reduction of 2 to the target number they needed, and those both would have hit. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, this boulder, you got that red area there. Is it defined as the perimeter of the token that goes on there, or just that red area? Because if it's just the red area, this Tailless right here does have line of sight on our soldier. The rulebook states that if that imaginary line going from center to center of the target and the attacking passes through a blocked square, it doesn't say passes over the red line. So with that boulder occupying that square right next to him, then that square is blocked, then that means line of sight is blocked. That will bring us to the Acolyte, who has 1 melee attacker there, and 1, 2, 3 range. So he is being attacked by 4 Tailless, so they will get that target number bonus, but first those 4 need to pass their courage test. I'll roll all 4 courage at once, even though there's 1 melee and 3 ranged, because there's no difference in their abilities or target numbers or anything like that. So the 9 is successful. So one of them had enough courage to attack. The target number is 7, but now it's going to be a 5 because there are 4 of them, and that is a hit. Now the card reads that they get that advantage, -2 to the target number, if 4 or more are attacking. Now they didn't pass their courage test, so they're not quote-unquote attacking, but they attempted to attack, so I would say that they still get that advantage. They didn't need it right now because the target number was only 7 anyway. I also forgot that the sphere of deflection has a range of 2. The Acolyte is within 2. I don't know if that was a ranged attack or not. That does make a difference. I should have rolled them separately because it would have made a difference. I don't think it would have mattered though, because with 4 of them attacking, target number was reduced to 5, which means even with the sphere of deflection, they would have needed a 7 at a minimum, and they still rolled an 8. Our Acolyte takes his 2nd wound, and he's down to 7. Finally, we're going to have a normal spawn, and for the Tailless, that is 2 melee and 2 ranged. The melee will come out first. We have our 2 there, and then our 2 ranged. We'll have 1 in the rear on that side, and 1 in the rear on that side. We have quite the swarm of Tailless pouring out of this lair. We need to take care of this lair before this gets out of hand. So far we've been lucky that they have such poor courage, keeping them from doing a whole lot to us right now. But things can change if we get a couple heavy spawns or something happens and we have a high threat penalty and we start getting some captains popping out everywhere. That ends the darkness phase.